So I just saw Salty Mike's video reacting to this guy pop up. Didn't see Salty's video, went straight to this guy. I've seen videos from him before. He makes a whole lot of sense. Couple minutes in, I was like, the dude is saying the exact same thing I say all the time and get a lot of shit over. So I said, fuck it, I'll do my own content with it. Guys, welcome to a channel, and let's listen to, I think the dude is a proper game developer, and yeah, makes a whole lot of sense.
Is honestly solid for the base price. It's fun as and there's enough content there to be worth $40 to spend on it. If you have an idea for an MMO.
Yeah, no argument there. For $45, you get into Star Citizen, and as much of a shit show it is at times, as much as a greedy business model it is at times, for 45 bucks you get in. That's why I play it. That's why I have a channel that is almost dedicated to it, because there's a lot of fun to be had in spite of all the criticism and all the controversy. But that is very much true. For $45, you can start playing, and it's on you to have the self-control to resist the fantastic marketing and sales team that they have.
Oh, right. An MMO generally is engaged persistence between players, and that persistent world has some kind of competition in some way or some sort of sharing between those players that is persistent. This is not a persistent world yet. It is a number of technical demos that don't have persistence, commonly have wipes, and as such, isn't really a game yet. It is technical testing of what could one day become a game. So I can't agree with you there.
It is not a game. He explained it perfectly well. It does not fit the parameters of what a game actually it is. It is a tech demo. He says a number. It is one tech demo, one big, messy tech demo that in time evolved into a fantastic business idea by which you keep on selling ships that people want to buy. You hire people that are great at promoting it and creating the hype and the marketing and the sales and all of that. And that's what it's become. It is basically an online service where you screw around in a bunch of tech demo propositions, but without a proper game. You are not advancing towards anything. You don't have any kind of persistence at all. Everything gets wiped pretty periodically. You lose everything. The idea of, I remember when I started playing, I saw a video. That was some sales pitch right there. You can leave a bottle of water under a rock in Star Citizen, and a year later come back and the bottle of water will be there. Bull fucking shit. That was a gigantic lie. Still is. Nothing persists. Entity persisting, it's all bullshit. Nothing persists. Even when you die, you're not persisting very often. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But this idea of, I'm gonna leave out, no. It all gets periodically cleaned up. Even when you get blown up next to a bunker, next to a station, next to whatever, you don't see the remains. Oh, it's gonna be the old remains of a once bygone ship. No, that is all part of the fantasy that we indulge in. Yes, they're gonna do this. It's gonna be, I remember when I crashed my Carrack here years ago in patch 340, and here are the rusted remains. All of this dick jerking that we do, all of this, it's just this. That's all we do. We just fuck around with the dream, the idea of what could be, but it's not real. It's just us indulging in the fantasy of what we would like to see one day, while at the same time we only have fucking master modes, which is worse than before, right? So he is right about this not actually being a game. Let's make that perfectly clear, because it is not.
Can't. Maybe one day it could become a really cool game, but the direction of their monetization leads me to believe that that day will never come. Yeah, it's just testing. It doesn't even matter how long it's been tested. Like, you have to understand something. It doesn't matter how long a game is in development. It doesn't. It does not matter how long a game is in development. What matters is...
kind of, I mean, how long can you go for 10 years and say, oh, we're still developing? It sort of matters. How long is this going to take? 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years? Okay, kind of let us know. You need to have a basic idea. You already know how much of a GTA, right? GTA 6. So every 10 years you get a game. Okay, but you have to understand that every once in a while you need to actually release a thing. If there's no release date in sight, then you're obviously not planning on releasing it ever.
The direction of development, the communication of the studio. The communication of the studio is fine. They do a good job of communicating the things they're working on. They have a massive roadmap.
No, he's obviously not involved in Star Citizen because no, it is one of the tactics that they use all the time, which is miscommunicating on purpose, not being clear about things and letting people assume and fantasize and dream about the thing they did mean, that they mean this, that they not mean that. All of this fantasy, all of this hype is on purpose, and part of that is not communicating clearly. If you were told very clearly that, yeah, all this year we will have shit, we will have nothing at all. We won't have pyro this year or the next. We won't have this. We won't have persistent hangars. We won't have any of that this year. It will just be a couple new ship sales. If they were honest about what they're planning on doing, you probably would not even hang around. But you always hope that, yes, this road to pyro, guys, this year, maybe at the most next year. But 2-3 years later, still no pyro? If they had told you that right away, you wouldn't probably hang around, or a lot of people would not hang around. So he's incorrect about how they communicate. They intentionally miscommunicate or communicate poorly, leaving the door open for speculation, which is part of their hype machine of their marketing, okay?
The direction of the studio, I can't agree with. The direction of the studio is heavily geared towards squeezing as much money out of the community as possible. I can't agree with that. Yeah. I think it's gross. And many of the ways that they're squeezing money out of the community could cause damage down the line to their game, such as selling insurance for ships that is lifetime. Something that...
No. Again, the guy is a game developer, but, right, if you're not in this fucked up world of Star Citizen, you don't get it. The biggest problem is that as long as it's as financially viable and as much as it's rewarded to keep on doing the same thing, there is no incentive to do anything else. Like, this is a basic... I mean, if I'm selling lemonade and I'm making it $5,000 a day selling lemonade, I'll keep on selling lemonade. Maybe I'll try to sell even more lemonade. Am I going to do anything else? Will I start selling tomatoes? No. Fucking lemonade is what is making me money. So you keep on doing that. Besides that, there is this, and they hire these experts. There's a psychological aspect of if you're actually playing the video game and you're getting engaged and things are a lot more fun, maybe you feel that there's no need to buy a new ship. I'm having fun with other things. I'm actually playing a game. As long as there's no game to play and it's the same old thing, tired once and tired again, the mechanic in which your brain kicks in of finding something new is finding a new ship to fly around. It's going to be the same old thing, but I'll be flying in a new ship. For that new ship, I need to pay. That's where business works perfectly well. He then gets into the LTI thing, right?
We know inside of the gaming industry that we've known for a long time is the moment that a company sells a lifetime subscription to anything, that game is going to die. We've seen it timeless times. Over.
So he's confusing lifetime insurance of ships with LTI, like subscription-based. No. The idea of lifetime insurance has never been perfectly clear. CIG insists several times that it's not important, while at the same time, typical super genius level CIG of it's not important, but I'm selling it, and I'm selling it as something special, and I'm selling it on rare occasions. So yeah, I say it's not important, but I kind of let you know that it sort of is, because if not, why the hell would it be rare? Why the hell would it be something that, and at the same time you get the insurance of your ship is 6-month insurance, 10 years insurance, lifetime insurance. You do have these levels of insurance, and obviously the best one is lifetime insurance. So you are letting you're letting people know that there is a... How is it that this may be implemented one day? Well, they say it won't be implemented until the game comes out. So very likely we will never see any of this implemented at all. Now, knowing CIG as we know them, there may well be a day in which they say, yeah, the game is out. You now start playing. And if that day ever comes for whatever reason, and whatever they say at that moment is, this is the game, we have just released it, well, that's the moment in which marketing and sales will go, oh, remember that LTI thing, the insurance thing? Well, now you have 6 months of insurance. 6 months went by, your ship blew up. Now you have to pay with in-game money to recover the ship. Oh, well, the 6 months went by, or the 10 years went by, or whatever, right? 10 years, that's pretty generous, right? But 6 months fly past very quickly. And that's where the idea of, even though they say it is nothing, and as of right now, it truly is nothing at all, LTI, there is this possibility that, given that they have different echelons of insurance, you may one day regret not having something that could give you an advantage. Is it part of the hype, the marketing, the bullshit? Yes, of course. But knowing as we know them, I would not put it past them to take advantage of that into making even more money. Now, if you have it, and at the same time, the truth is that you can have lifetime insurance with any ship, spending less money than the ship costs if you do buy directly. Because if you do build your CCU chain, buying little pieces of upgrades from one ship to the other, and start with a $25 Pulse bike with lifetime insurance, you can end up with the ship that you want for half the price and the lifetime insurance that most likely will never matter. But hey, it is there. And honestly, there's also the thing of the gray market, where if you want to sell that thing one day, the lifetime insurance will be something that is appreciated. Let's put it that way.
And over again. Go back and even look at something like Hellgate London. Hellgate London was doing just fine, and then suddenly they released a lifetime subscription to the game.
Yeah,
the moment you release a lifetime subscription to the game, it's about to go downhill. Happens every single time. I have never seen that work out, because it's we don't have enough money. This isn't sustainable. Inject a bunch of money into the system. Maybe we can make it work. And if it...
Yeah, no, he's confusing it with lifetime subscription with lifetime insurance. He doesn't understand how fucking crazy the Star Citizen world is. You have lifetime insurance for your spaceship within the video game. You're not getting a lifetime subscription to the service.
Doesn't work, the game's going to die. That's why we do that. That is the reason that happens in the industry. So when you have a lifetime subscription to a ship before launch is even out, that is a massive red flag to me, dude. That is a massive, massive red flag to me. That is dangerous, because the cost of running that the whole time, you're not recouping on any of it. So what the hell's going on there? On top of that, having $687 million when you're still in beta, that's disturbing to me. That's a lot of goddamn money. Didn't know that's a swan song? It is generally a swan song. It is very rare that a lifetime subscription is not a swan song for a studio. Very rare. In this case, it is a red flag. Not necessarily a swan song, but a red flag. And that's bothersome. Those people could have shares in the company. They could. The other thing that I think is a little bit weird is kind of the community interaction around the game, which is there's a number of people that talk about their purchases in Star Citizen as investments. That is not an investment. An investment denotes some potential for return. That is a
An investment is not something that denotes some potential for return. An investment is actually, and this is something that I do know because my main thing is preparedness, especially the economic aspect of preparedness. So this, I do know. It's not it's very, what an investment is very clear. An investment is something within my community, survival and preparedness. Sometimes you see people talk about a firearm is an investment, right? Or a gun, or gold. Gold is not an investment. An investment is something that creates profit for you with a certain periodic time frame, right? Every single month, I get a little bit of money made because of my investment. You have a property rented, you have some stock, whatever it is you have, but every month it generates a little bit of money for you, right? That is what a proper investment actually is. If you have like an investment that is losing money for you, that's a shitty investment. But basically, the definition of investment is something that I put some money into and it's generating capital for me, right? That's what you want in terms of investment. Called Python, like that thing that you see over there, called Python, that's worth a few bucks. Yeah, you can buy a lot of LTIs with a stainless steel called Python. Is it an investment? Many times people will say that it is because it may be worth a couple $1,000s more a few years later. So, I invested. And yeah, no shit. If you bought something that went up 3, 4, 5 times in price in just a very short period of time, it may be the best investment you ever made, right? You bought a crate full of HK P7s brand new, never used. Holy crap. Yeah, you did very well for yourself. Whatever you sell those for, you made a shitload of money. But still not an investment. It is not generating money for you on its own. You're just buying something and selling it for a profit later. That is not technically an investment, even if it does make you good money. So, and the idea, this sad, fucking pathetic idea that anything you threw away when you bought anything starts being an investment. Again, shit, you may well buy something and sell it for more money in the gray market. But again, certainly not an investment. And man, you're really taking a giant ass risk with that.
Purchase of a item in a video game. That's a weird thing, and I don't understand culturally why that's being used. That's odd. It is not an investment. Should not call it that. I don't know why there's a number of people that have used this term, but it's very strange. Yeah, investment implies the potential for a return. Yeah, no, not an investment. And there are purchases in there that aren't ridiculous. There are, for like the initial ships or whatever the hell. But like seeing microtransactions go as high as $48,000, dude, no. There's no way that I could ever say that that's okay. Ever at all.
And that's where I disagree with our friend here, who seems to be a pretty well-rounded individual. I'm a capitalist at heart. I believe that if I want to sell the magic bullshit ship painted in gold for $1 million and someone wants to buy it and he gets any kind of joy on that, I mean, for me. But this is the position where I have in terms of, again, things that go beyond video games. But that's capitalism. I have money. I want to spend it any way I want. You can buy yourself a giant-ass Ninja Turtle or a called Python or whatever the hell it is you want to buy with your own money. You do you. Now, if I'm selling ships for $60 and you play this tech demo and you have fun, hell, that maybe is It's not a horrible idea. You're having fun. You're playing. Now you have more disposable income and you spend $200. You're still having a lot of fun. Sure. Now you have an addiction and you're spending everything you have on fucking video game ships. Yeah, probably not great. Is that on me? Maybe it is a little bit. Maybe I'm incentivizing this mechanism and you have that toxic personality and that addiction thing. Now, at the same time, I'm not selling poison. I'm not selling anything that is illegal or anything like that. If I sell the Drake Ironclad painted in damn virtual video game gold and I sell it for $1 million and someone comes along and buys it, who am I to say no? I have $1 billion. I could not care less spending $1 million in this. It is, for that guy, maybe $1 million is nothing. Who am I to say that, no, you cannot buy, I'm selling it. Does it look very good? No, kind of no. But he is not realizing that there's a lot of people for which even $100 is it's perverse. It is sickening for people that are maybe struggling month by month in parts of the world where maybe $10 means the difference between eating or not and starving to death or not. If we go by that moral soapbox, any kind of money you spend on a video game is kind of messed up depending on where you are. But I'm all for freedom and spend money any way you want.
That's not going to happen. So, like, the reason why I don't like it is this. I come from a time where you buy the video game, and then through effort, you earn the ability to progress. Star Citizen, you buy the video game, and then you can also buy that effort. You just buy the big boy ships. Wrong? Yeah. I can go on there right now and buy those ships. Yeah. I can buy every one of them. I don't have to build them. I don't have to spend time making them. I can just go buy them. You don't buy the game. You buy a ship in the video game. Are we playing semantics, boy, now? Is that what we're doing? Are we?
Yeah, he's talking a fucking idiot. He's talking to a complete imbecile. You didn't buy. You bought the game, and he's actually right. You can go and instead of wasting hours of your life or learning things and learn. No, he is absolutely correct that you go and you buy all of the ships, and there's since that is the only sense of progression you have in the game, the only progression you have in the game is buying better ships by the money you earn in game, which is becoming increasingly more difficult to earn in game, which he doesn't know apparently, but they've nerfed the shit out of how much money you gain. They made missions a lot less rewardable in terms of money, and the ships are costing an insane amount more, right? So he is absolutely right about this being very much pay to win, because in Star Citizen you win by having the bigger, better ships.
Saying the game free, but you need to buy a ship to play the game. Is that what we're doing right now? Okay, here, let me make this more clear. In order to play the game, you need to buy a microtransaction in a demo in which there are frequent wipes. What good value? EVE Online ruined itself when it started making skill injectors sellable. Yeah, that was the immediate death of that game to me. You have to buy a package. You have to buy a package that comes with a starter ship. You are still buying the MMO package.
People are so stupid, it's sad sometimes. They get tricked by silly semantics. No, I didn't buy the game. Wait, he's actually right. You didn't buy a game. When the game eventually does come out in terms of Squadron 42, you will have to buy it even again, in spite of you having financed the creation of said game.
Okay, here. Let me make this very clear to you. Any game where I can buy the video game, and then instead of using effort to attain endgame gear and activities, I can just whip out my credit card, is a game. That's it. It's a game. That's a game. I've made it very clear for you. When will you remove the Heartbound demo microtransactions? I'm on to you, Cardboard Cowboy. How you doing, by the way, man? We're talking about Store Citizen, which I don't respect. When you say microtransactions, what do you mean? I mean things that are not cosmetic. If you are able to purchase items that have any type of value in the game, such as being able to be traded for in-game currency of any kind, such as the WoW token, or in EVE Online, the same, that ends up being a problem. If you are able to buy an item that gives you some sort of statistic or mechanical advantage in the game, or unlock statistic or mechanical bonuses in any possible way, that is a problem. The only thing that should be sold as a microtransaction in a game where I will not have a problem is cosmetic. It needs to be cosmetic in nature,
Totally
not
right.
giving you a statistical or mechanical advantage in any possible way. That's it. This is a very simple concept. You're not going to wriggle your way around it and try and be like, Star Citizen is actually selling you cosmetic ships. No, they offer statistical and mechanical advantages to those different ships, unlocking additional content or different ways to play with more people, or at a statistical advantage over other ships. As such, this is pay to win. I refuse to play pay to win games. They are not fun because I'm not fighting you, I'm fighting your credit dumb. It's very simple. And I'll fight you all day in a video game. What about Warframe? Warframe doesn't have a statistical or mechanical advantage. That is a PvE game where everything is cosmetic. I have earned everything that I have obtained in Warframe, and I enjoy the shit out of it. Yeah, Fashion Frame is the endgame. What about Path of Exile? Path of Exile does not offer you a statistical or mechanical advantage in the game. The most egregious microtransaction they have is more stash tabs, I believe, which is a quality of life thing, which is kind of on the line. But that's not an advantage in the game, as much as people think it is, which is weird. Stash tabs are a little bit gross. Yeah, it's a lot of whataboutism. This is my favorite part about this one.
Not only does Star Citizen do this, they do it in the most shameless fashion at times, selling the overly OP boss of the boss's ship, like your Ares Ion sniper ship that literally fucks everyone up with one shot. They sell that, and then a couple months later, they nerf the crap out of that, and your ship is now crap again. And you're just one more schmuck with an average ship that you paid a fortune for, and it doesn't make a difference. And then they have something else that comes out, and it's super OP, and it's the best ever. And then they nerf it again. So not only is it that they do this, they do have a pay-to-win system. It is disgustingly greedy and super unfair, and yes, it is exactly like that. Now, can you have fun fucking around and flying around? And yeah, sure, not a game, pay to win, deal with that, and if you're still fine, hell, go for it.
I'm like, hey, this sucks ass. And people are like, well, what about this other game? That's called whataboutism. That's how that works. Does it offer a statistical or mechanical advantage? Use your brain. And if it does, then I think it sucks. It's not hard. It's a very simple concept. Statistical or mechanical advantage or cosmetic? Cosmetic, fine. Statistical or mechanical advantage, not fine. Very simple concept. Brain, use brain. Use brain, use brain. Use brain. Yeah, my opinion's pretty clear, and it's been the same for ages. Share the brain cell? Oh no. That assumes that every game that has multiplayer is the goal to win against other players? Every game that is multiplayer is inherently competitive in some way. Players will build competition out of it, Zoe, no matter what. No matter what kind of a game it is, there's always going to be some kind of a thing, some kind of a goal, achievement base, or anything like that. Even games that claim that they are not competitive, by their very nature in multiplayer play, will become competitive because of the player base. That is always going to be the case. Even if the game itself does not offer competitive advantage at all, or competitive situations. Because you made it multiplayer, it will be that way. That's why we have a speedrunning community. That's the whole point with that. And the moment that you offer anything that makes you faster in a game like that, you've now offered pay to win for speedrunners. See? This is how this works. This is why I don't ever want to offer mechanical advantage or statistic advantage.
It's not just him. There's an entire... a huge percentage of the video gaming community that thinks this way. It is fucked up that someone just with a little bit of money goes and buys the super master sword that kills everyone when you didn't earn it in game, when you didn't win it by playing, by participating in what everyone does in a fair level ground. You just go show up at, yeah, I bought the super F7C25 super military version and I blow the shit out of everything. Yeah, you know, it is messed up. It is very much against the nature of what video games should be. But it's not even a video game. It's this online service tech demo thing where you fly around ships that look very cool, and you can, with a lot of time wasted, you can buy them in game less and less so. Let's make also that perfectly clear. Just a few months ago, it was a case that you could make an argument for, hey, I go with my $45 Aurora, and by this afternoon, I have myself a $200 ship. Or, hell, give me a week, and I will buy a $1,000 ship in-game with in-game money. Because of skill, because of you can progress that way, even though someone else can come on and pay to win, which is actually correct. But I can get that too just by playing and learning how to do things here. That is increasingly not the case because the marketing, the finance of things are going towards a direction where it's more and more and more difficult to make money in game, and the ships are more and more expensive. And there's no realism here of any kind. You cannot sell the ship you bought in game, which in a real sim you would. You would be able to sell things you bought.
Advantage for money, ever. It should only ever be cosmetic for money, because cosmetic doesn't change the gameplay. Mostly just makes you laugh more in cutscenes when your character's like underwear's on the outside for $5 or something. Yeah, it's not a hard concept. I love that one. Okay, but there's this game that you could pay to get statistical and mechanical advantage. Do you think that's okay? No. Like, dude, if you want to play Credit Card Warrior, just go play Clash of Clans, right? Like, who gives a at that point? Go play those games. Have fun sitting there like spending thousands of dollars to beat the other dude that's spending thousands of dollars and see whose credit card dick is larger than the other ones, right? Like that's what you're asking for when you want that kind of a game. It's not skill based.
The mods were fed $4.20.
That's not how that works. Like, enjoy your whale wars. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that in games that I play. It sucks. What about a game that offers a statistical or mechanical advantage? Disadvantage. Pay to lose. Cardboard Cowboy, have you just unlocked a new meta? Would that be me paying money so that I lose, or me paying money so that you lose stats? Could I pay $5 to, like, nerf you? Is that what you're trying to say to me? Like, instead of paying $5 to get stronger, I pay $5 so that you lose the game.
No, there's a point in which, I mean, yeah, when you bought everything, what is it? Yes, you will be beating the guy with a little fucking starter ship. I mean, yippee for you, great. But anyway, I think he's a very clever guy. He makes most of the points I make here all the time, but, well, the guy is a proper game developer, and his voice has a lot more weight in all of this stuff. See you in the next video, guys. Take care.